today what we're going to try and do is find out a little bit about what is Ashoka and how you can do to engage in Ashoka from Norway. We like to present the sort of overall picture of Ashoka as being perhaps the spider in the web of social entrepreneurship and change making and social transformation for the good of all. And all those words are very sort of laden with meaning and lots of deep thought and knowledge behind them. But in the essence of it all, it's all about people making positive change that benefits everyone. So today, what we're going to do is look at how Ashoka is really working for solutions for a new era. This was the subject at the beginning of our Ashoka Changemaking Summit. And what I'd like to do is first look at what Ashoka does, and then look about how you, who is watching this, could be part of this from Norway. So the diagram on the left here looks really about what Ashoka does. We have 3 spheres of impact. One is about innovation and transformation for a new era. And we do that really by supporting fellows who we're going to meet through giving them stipends and different kinds of support and networking. Another sphere of impact is the enabling a change maker world, where we have young change maker different projects and building ecosystems around young people as they grow up to be change makers. And then a third sphere of impact is really having a sort of hub of knowledge about how to make that kind of positive change and social innovation. So how can we use the patterns and trends coming out of what the fellows and the young change makers are doing to be able to build up a knowledge base that can then build bridges and build ecosystems for a new world. So how you can be part of it is what you can see on the right hand side here. And today we're really going to focus mostly on what we call our Ashoka support network. If you join this, you can be part of that change that we're talking about, and there's 3 different routes really relating to the 3 different spheres of impact. So you can either join in and have a particular focus on supporting world-leading social systems entrepreneurs through having a focus on youth and change making, or having a focus on building sort of like the whole ecosystem and platform for transformation. Just to start with where it all started, it started with Bill Drayton, who founded this nearly 50 years ago now. And he was really the person who came up and recognized that there's a different kind of entrepreneur out there. And this quote is an old one, and yet it's still really, I think, quite useful to sort of illustrate the difference between what a social entrepreneur is really trying to do compared to traditional business entrepreneurs. So social entrepreneurs, they're not content to give people a fish or to teach people how to fish. They will not rest until they have revolutionized the fishing industry. And another way of looking at that is what we call through our iceberg model. And this basically says that if you have an iceberg, what you see on the surface are the symptoms, the experiences that people see every day. They're the symptoms of something deeper. And what you can't see are the underlying systems and mindsets that have really sort of set the background framework for those experiences and systems. And if you want to change society, you need to really address the systems and the mindsets if you're going to have long-term sustainable change for the good of everyone. Since that time, 50 years ago, we are now in a position where someone like Jimmy Wales, who founded Wikipedia and is also an Ashoka Fellow, describes Ashoka as a living encyclopedia of social innovation in every field around the world. And that's quite a cool, big thing to be sitting on. You're sitting on a massive database of people and initiatives and coalitions that are really changing the world in every field. If you put that into a few sentences and what it actually is on the ground, it is the world's largest network for social entrepreneurship and change making. And it's now active in over 90 countries. The main activities are supporting and identifying, and identifying is a major part of finding these people to support what we call system social entrepreneurs. And these are elected through a very long and due diligent process to be lifelong Ashoka Fellows. And then we use the insight from these people and the wider implications of what it means to be a positive change maker to try and use to build other projects and initiatives to support and ensure that every single person in the whole world can grow up and be a change maker. And that's building the Everyone a Change Maker movement. So that comes again back to these 3 spheres of impact. So just repeating that, we have that one area about innovation and transformation, so through the fellows. We have another one about enabling the change-making world, which is about supporting young change-maker projects. And then that final sphere about using all that knowledge and how can we learn about how we need to work and how we need to make that change to build ecosystems for the change that we want to see. In terms of the global impact, there are 3,600 fellows now spread all over the world. And 86% of these now say that Ashoka has helped them see their own work in a more sort of system changing kind of way. And that 92% of them have perhaps changed their strategy as a result. And 74% of them have changed some sort of legal framework or influenced some sort of public policy. And that's an enormous amount of change. If you think 74% of 3,600 have actually managed to make long-term legal change or influence it, it's a huge impact on the world. 93% of them have changed the market systems in which they work. And then this final one, this 92% of fellows say that the stipend they received from Ashoka when they started, which has really helped them focus on their idea full time. And this is why it's so important we managed to fund both identifying these world-leading social entrepreneurs, but also give them the stability to actually be able to invest in thinking, how can I change the system and the policies that are really going to set up the framework for a more positive future. In Norway, we have 9 Ashoka Fellows. Here they are. You may well recognize some of them. We've got Hanna Finstad, who leads Forskerfabriken, Marit Sanne and Forandringsfabriken. Then we have Oscar Blackstad was the most recent fellow who was elected 2 years ago now. And Heidi you're going to meet in a minute. We also are in the process of electing a new fellow. We have a panel process, as we call it, in early December, and we hope to be able to announce who that is in January and February. And it's really very exciting always to find a new fellow who's recognised as having a new idea on a global basis and be able to support them through being able to look systemically at their process and scale it. So watch this space and be ready to support if you want to be part of that process. How we support our fellows is through all sorts of different ways, through networking, through mentoring, through different kind of courses and opportunities. These are just some of the co-learning opportunities and the kind of subjects that they have the opportunity to join in, from systems change to new leadership, well-being, that kind of topic, rather than what you might see in a more traditional accelerator. This is about scaling impact rather than scaling business.